So what do you know about management? So what you know about this as far as your knowledge is concerned, basically, you may have heard about it before. As far as your understanding is concerned, what the term is, what do you think about this? So you have, with management, you have so many words which have been heard about. Maybe sometimes when it comes to the family, we have family management. When it comes to the water, we have water management, right? When it comes to the disaster, we have disaster management. We have, like for example, let's say, what are the management words? Supply chain, we have supply chain management. We have human resource management. When we need to manage people, we have human resource management, right? We have marketing management. We have when we have waste, pollutants, waste management, right? So water management, environment management, right? So whatever we are talking about, uh, so we need to manage family management, right? So what are the things you know with this management? So right, so management is a universal concept, universally which can be applied to manage the things. Time management, when it comes to the time, we uh, are supposed to manage the time, all right? So when it comes to the stress management, right? So when we have the resources, we have to manage the resources, resource management, right? So space management, for example, right? So when you have a little space, so you have to manage your space management. For example, B farm H is having short of the buildings, right? So which is located in ODVTK, as you know. So let's say that you have limited facilities. So then you need to manage it, right? So building management, space management. So what do you mean by this management? By your own words. I'm not asking any technical terminology or technical definition. So asking from your own words. So this is something like so totally different than your subjects, I guess. So you may have you are reading different theories, you are doing experiments, right? So this is purely a sociological, is a social science, a behavioral science that we are supposed to talk about human beings, how things happen, right? So basically, this is purely a social science. So we need to discuss about the surroundings, what we have around us, and how the things get done, right? So through people, get a certain thing done. How do we do that? So likewise, so basically, it's a purely a social science. So maybe somewhat this is very interesting to learn. Uh, so I'm asking from your own definition. Yes, what do you know about this? Just to start.
Controlling something.
Yes, control is there. So something denotes what? Yes,
Use of the resources to meet with our needs.
yes. So one important, or maybe two or three important words was told in the management, which were in, which are in the terminology of management, in the definition of management. Basically, you told two important words. Others? So someone has maybe planning, right? Planning or decision making, that is included. Someone has messaged it as like as planning or decision making. That is so those are the part of the management, not whole, right? So two words there. One student told resources. What is the other one? Again, can you repeat it again?
Needs.
Yes, needs. Needs and resources. Two words there. What are the other things? Right. So our task is to, at the very beginning, we need to define it first. Management. Right. So I'm going to discuss. I'm going to define the term management. So before going to define the term management, we need to discuss about the basic ingredients of the terminology or the ingredients of the definition. Right, as one student told, we need to define what is a need. We need to define the need first, right? So what are the basic differences between these, between the needs and wants? So what do you mean by, in fact, a need? I'm asking from you. Give me an example for a need. Yes, please participate.
Food.
Food, yes, correct. What else? Give me an example, another example for a need. Food.
Medicines.
Medicines, yes. What else?
Clothes,
Clothes.
oxygen,
Yes, correct.
Place to live.
Yes, place to live in the sense that shelter, right? Food, clothing, shelter, transportation, education, medicine. What else? Clothing, affection, right? So those are the needs, right? So then how we define that need, those needs? How we define? How we define this?
Requirements.
Requirements for what?
Requirements for daily life.
Yes. Things needed. Things needed for what? What? Right? So things needed for survival. So that's how we define a need. So without this, we can't survive. Without food, can we survive? Without shelter, affection, education, we can't survive. Right? So things needed for survival is known as a need. Right? So then what about, so we know that basically we know that examples for need, shelter, as I told, uh, shelter, education, food, clothing, etc. Right? So uh, things needed for survival, examples are those. And what about wants? needs and wants, what is the difference? Yes, in Sinhala, what we call this for these two? Needs, how we call it in Sinhala? I guess you all
Avash-
yes, avashyata. Then what do you mean by wants?
Vamana.
Yes, correct. Vamana. Right? So then give me some example. How you define these wants?
Things that are not necessary to
That's
survive.
that's not necessary so to survive, but that is not the correct definition. So another one, try to give me your own definition for
how
this.
we
Yes, how we,
achieve our needs.
yes, that is partly correct, right? How we achieve our need, the ways by which we achieve our needs or achieve or fulfill our needs, right? So in other words, the classic definition for that is the options we have, alternatives we have for what? We have to satisfy our basic needs, right? Options or availabilities or alternatives that we have to satisfy our basic needs is known as wants, right? So then, for example, needs are food need, clothing, shelter, right? So wants are maybe when it comes to a food, one can have a drink options. One can have a donut or maybe a mac. One can have a kind of let's say chicken, pork, right? One can have a bun, fish, right? Sausages. So options we have, at least we can have a drink of glass of water, right? One can have a biscuit. So various options are there. Various options are there when it comes to a food. The need is food. Wants are options, alternatives, right? Wants, when it comes to a food need, we can satisfy the food need in terms of various ways, in terms of a lunch packet, in terms of a meal, in terms of a glass of water, piece of a cake, slice of a bread, right? Biscuit, likewise, right? So those are wants, options. When it comes to let's say basic need is shelter, one can have a shelter like this, something like this. So one can have this kind of a thing, right? House. One can have a own constructed house. One can have a boarding. One can have a rented house. One can have a parent's place, right? One can have a tree house, right? One can have a hotel room. So various options are there. When it comes to transportation, right? One can use public transport, bus. One can use public transport, train. One can have own jet, own airline, right? One can have own car, right? So likewise, various options are there when it comes to transport or by walk simply, right? So when it comes to the clothing, various options are there, right? Uh, so therefore, needs and wants are different. Needs are the basic things. Needs are common to all. Wants differs by person to person. Wants are diverse. Needs are same, common. Wants are diverse, right? So wants created by whom? Wants created by whom? Who create the wants?
People.
People, in the sense that who?
Businessman.
Yes, we have bonds, different bonds created by, right? So why you needed, why you demanded mobile phone now, for example? Why you demand a tablet now? Why you demand Zoom, right? Why you demand, let's say, um, telecommunication connection nowadays, right? So why you demand, let's say, a biscuit rather than having a glass of water? Because that has been created by business organizations. Organizations, for example, why you demand BPharm, pharmacology, bachelor's of pharmacology degree program? Why you demand? Why you registered for that? You have registered now. Now you are in the third year, right? Why you demand that rather than doing another course, maybe enter to the foreign university, rather than doing another course, rather than doing a job? Why you demand that? Because that has been created by organizations, maybe profit oriented organizations or non-profit organizations like University of Roorkee has been created and communicated to you that is essential, that is needed for you, that is not needed, that is an option available to you to just satisfy your education needs. This is a kind of, this degree program is an option that you are having, right? So rather than doing this, someone can do a job. So that is a part of, that is an option to satisfy your education need, right? So therefore, wants have been created by organizations, but needs cannot be created, right? So by organizations, needs are common to you all, we all, right? So things essential for survival, things essential for survival. So that has been automatically created, generated, and we need those things. Without them, we can't survive, right? So therefore, needs, those are the basic differences, needs and wants, right? So needs are common, needs are limited, right? So common varies, needs common, wants varies, right? So needs are limited, wants are unlimited. Wants are unlimited. Why you say so? Yes, wants are unlimited. Now, moving to the other slide. Resources. So what do you mean by resources? Yes, resources.
Things available to fulfill the needs and wants.
Yes, not the needs and wants. We have a separate name for that, right? So resources. Example for a resource. Resource, what are the resources? I'm asking examples.
Money.
Yes, money is a resource. What else?
Books.
Books. Books for what?
For education.
Yes. Materials. What else?
Lands.
Yes, land. What else? What else?
Ocean.
Yes. What else?
Plants.
What else?
Water.
Yes. What else?
Mineral.
What about humans? People. Is that a resource? You?
Yes.
Then man. What else?
Animals.
Yes, animals. Then what else?
Raw materials.
Yes. Materials. Materials. Yes, materials. Right? So we have various resources. We have various resources. We categorize all these various resources into basically 5. So we call them as 5 M's, right? 5 M's. What are they? Money, all starting with M's. Nowadays we have more than 5 M's discussing about talking about 7 M's, 10 M's, 8 M's, right? So, but basically, right, since this is a foundation course, we have to talk about basic things. So basically we have 5 M's. Money is 1 M. Money, MONEY. Then man. Then machines. Your computer, your tablet phone, your mobile phone, right? So now you are using a machine as a resource. Then what else? Materials, right? So you take minerals, may be a material. Water may be a material. Plant may be a material. Ocean may be a material, right? Clear? Then what else? Methods. Methods. Methods, ways of doing things is a resource, right? So my teaching method is a resource. My teaching style, pattern, method, the way of doing this, a certain thing, right? So all these are categorized into basically 5. Those are known as 5 M's and basically known as resources, right? In business, basically in management, we are talking about 5 M's, but in economics, we are talking about land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship, right? So think about your A level, O levels, right? We talk about resources as those things: land, bhumi, shramaya, pragdana, vyavasaya. We talk about at our very primary levels, right? So in economics, those are the resources. But in business classification, in management classification, so how managers classify those resources as basically 5 M's, starting with all these starting with M's. Money is financial resources. Man is human resources. Man, right? Machines, materials, all these physical resources. Methods are basically handling management techniques, right? So these are known as resources, right? So basically resources are those.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, will you share a note with us?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, sir.
If you want it right now, if you
No,
want it, I can share it. I can give you the Google Drive, then you can download it. Give me a few seconds, then I will share the document. Yes. Then in the chat box, I will put everyone, so then you can download this. Right? So were you able to download it? That you can try it whether it is downloadable or not. So otherwise, please let me know. Is that downloadable?
sir.
Yes.
That link gives a message that owner will
You, you received the
receive.
message.
Yes, sir.
All right. So then I will okay that. Yes. So Rachi. Now check whether you can download it right now. Whether you are able to download it. right? So try one of you to download it, and once you are able to download, then you can share this document through your WhatsApp group. I guess you may have a WhatsApp group, right? So try one first, then you can share it through your group. Otherwise, it takes time. Is that okay?
Yes, very good.
Right. Okay. So if you still can't download it, then those who download it already can share with others.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Yes, there are some more messages received. I can't okay it one by one. So do that way. Those who have already downloaded it can share with others. Right. Uh, yes, you're talking about yes, management. Resources, basically we have money, we have man, we have machineries, we have materials, we have methods, right? So those are the resources. Then needs. So basically, as we discussed, main difference is needs are limited, wants are unlimited. Wants are unlimited, right? So why we say that? Why we say that wants are unlimited? අපි කියනවා උවමනා සීමිතයි කියලා. Needs limited when it comes to a food need. We can have only a limited food. We can't say that, right? Say like unlimited food. We can't accommodate that. We can't. We have a capacity, right? So food need limited. So all these, for example, all these needs are limited. Foods, needs are common. Since that is common, obviously, so that is limited. When wants are unlimited, so when wants are diverse, so that becomes automatically unlimited. Diverse. For example, let's say food need. What are the wants we have? For food need wants, one can have a glass of water. So then, so before that, in which ways we satisfy our wants? In which ways we satisfy our wants? I'm asking from you, in which ways we satisfy our wants?
Using resources.
Yes, using resources is at the primary stage, but basically we satisfy our wants in terms of goods and services. Goods and services, right? Tell me, in without good or service, without good or service, in which way we satisfy our wants? I'm asking without, in terms of goods or service, goods or service. Think about anything without good or a service which can satisfy a want. So all come to these two categories, right? I guess, according to my understanding, we satisfy our wants in terms of a good or a service. Good in the sense that product, right? Your microphone, your mobile phone, your tablet, your PC, is that a good or a service? Are those goods or services?
Goods.
Goods. Let's say you are having a bath. Now you are applying a soap, right? But what soap you are using? Let's say there are different brand names, right? Champion, Sunlight. Sunlight, you are not supposed to use sunlight for your body appliance, right? Application of your body, for your body. Sunlight is used as a detergent, right? Let's say how you drink your water. Water is a product or a service. Let's say water bottle you purchase from a let's say from a shop. Water bottle, good or a service?
Good.
Then pharmacology degree,
Service.
yes, education is university education is a service. Let's say you have a funeral, your close relative passed away, and let's say it's a Buddhist one, and because reverend people coming to your home, funeral house, and let's say what do you call this, give to offer pansakula, right? So then offering pansakula is a service or a good?
Service.
Service, right? Your school,
It's also service.
service, right? So then let's say you get the water pipeline from National Water Supply and Drainage Board. Is that a good or a service?
Service.
Service. You get the electricity from CEB or LECO. That is again a service. Let's say you have your own vehicle. Let's say you have a car. You are coming towards coming to the faculty by your own vehicle. What is that? Good or a service? Good.
Good.
Yes. Right. So think about anything which is not belonging to those two categories. Are there anything from which we satisfy our wants? Right. All these belong to those two categories. So we satisfy our wants in terms of goods or services. Whether maybe those goods or services are offered by organizations. Those goods or service offered by organizations. Then what do you mean by an organization? Right? So far we have discussed how many terminologies we have discussed. Right? We discuss about needs, wants, resources, and now organizations. Needs, wants, resources, organizations. Organizations, how you define that organization? Yes. What is an organization? Is the University of Ruhuna an organization?
A group which is specified to do a particular function.
Yes. So group, in order to define the organization, there must be basically three components. There must be people, more than two, to be an organization. There must be people. And there must be a purpose, target, objective. University of Ruhuna has vision and mission, target. What about temple? Your own village, you have a temple. So is that an organization or not?
Organization.
Organization. Temple is organized because it has a vision, right? Attaining Nibbana. And it has group of people. So determine whether an organization, to determine whether a particular entity is an organization or not, we basically use three components criteria. Whether that entity is having people, whether that entity is having a purpose, and third one, whether that entity is having a deliberate structure. Deliberate structure in the sense that people must be arranged purposefully in a way that target or the purpose is able to achieve. Right? I will repeat it again. Purpose. Organization must have a purpose. Purpose is the target. Target is maybe ultimate objective. So that may be reflected in terms of a vision or mission. Right? Ultimate target. So that is commonly known as purpose. Right? Purpose. Second one, people. More than two people. And third one, deliberate structure. Deliberate structure. Right? Deliberate structure in the sense that purposeful arrangement of people and resources in order to achieve the basic target, purpose. So now let's take University of Ruhuna. Do we have deliberate structure? Are we having?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we have a deliberate structure. So because we have Vice Chancellor and under him we have academic, non-academic, we have different faculties, deans, heads, department heads, lecturers, academic lecturers, non-academic people, right? So that has been arranged. The resources and people have been arranged in a way that University of Ruhuna vision is able to achieve, target is achieved. Right? So then that is an organization. How we define an organization? Organization is an entity which has people, purpose, and a deliberate structure. Right? So you must be able to define those three components. People, obviously, two or more people, purpose, target, vision or mission, ultimate objective. In other words, deliberate structure is purposeful arrangement of people and resources in a way the common target purpose is able to achieve. Right? So that is about an organization. Right. So then, so we have organizations doing what? Organizations offer goods and services, whether maybe a profit organization or non-profit organization offer goods and services. University of Rohan offering a service. CB is a electricity providing organization which offers electricity. Water board is an organization which offers water, drinking water. Right? Your school is an organization which offers service. Right? Your welfare society in your village offers a service. Right? So we have profit oriented or non-profit oriented. Let's say your temple, your mosque, your church offers a service to you. Right? Maybe profit oriented, non-profit oriented, offer a service or a good to satisfy our wants. In terms of satisfying our wants, we satisfy our basic needs. Now is that clear? Right? So we started with needs. Needs, when needs satisfied, how we satisfy needs? In terms of wants. How we satisfy wants? In terms of goods and services. So when the needs are limited, wants are unlimited. So unlimited wants in the sense that unlimited goods and services we need. Clear? If the wants are unlimited, let's say, right? If the wants are unlimited, because we are saying that wants are unlimited. Because, for example, why we say this as wants are unlimited? Because we say that, let's say, for example, I am hungry now. I need the food. So option I have, I am preferring, let's say, a biscuit now. So you have the same hunger, right? So since this is, let's assume that this time is the lunch time. So now all of us need to have food, lunch, right? So food need, all of us need food, but ways by which we satisfy our food need differs by person to person. Clear? So one can have a, let's say, lunch packet, one can have a glass of water, one can have a bun, one can have a kottu roti, one can have a fried rice, one can have a piece of cake, one can have a slice of bread, fish bun, various options, right? So then we have to produce all these products to satisfy our wants. Unlimited wants in the sense that that is unlimited wants. We need various, we want various options in the sense that various products and services, right? So think about your A-level school batchmates. Now what are they doing? Only we have, let's say, in Sri Lanka, only you have nearly 28 people in the pharmacology degree program. Majority has gone to the medical faculties. Not majority, right? Maybe, let's say, suppose that you have 100 people in your school, island, in let's say, in which year you did your A-levels? In which year you did your A levels? 2016?
Yes, sir.
Right. 2016 you did your A levels. Let's say in Ireland, let's say 200 people were there. Out of 200,000, sorry, not 200,000 students were there in 2016, right? So let's say who did biosciences, let's say 100,000 students. Out of 100,000 students, let's say only 100 people were there, right? 100 people were there. Out of 100, nearly 12%, let's say 10% went to the, have gone to the medical faculties, and others, let's say 50% were unable to sit for the uh, enter to the universities, maybe doing some other courses, or maybe some of them are doing jobs, right? So various options, right? So one of your A level students go into the management faculties, engineering faculties, going abroad, go into abroad countries, right? Various options. They are doing various things now, right? So unlimited bonds in the sense that unlimited goods and services. Now we need to produce unlimited. Think about only, rather than going A levels, think about your lunch, right? So think about how you're thirsty. When one is having a glass of water, another one is having a, let's say, a cup of tea. Another one is having a fruit juice. Another one is having a, let's say, nectar, Fanta, right? Coca-Cola, a soft drink, fruit juice, water, Tambili, right? Uh, then what else? Various options we have. So unlimited bonds in the sense that unlimited goods and services. So which means that we need to produce, as organizations, we need to produce unlimited goods and services. Then what about resources? Resources are limited. So we have, by nature, the resources are limited. Human resources are limited. Financial resources are limited. Now let's say, now think about you, right? When it comes to financial resources, is that limited to you now? You have wonderful dreams. Are these, all these dreams can be fulfilled with your limited financial resources? We can't. So that is general for us as well, common to all human beings, right? So we have only limited resources when it comes to the financial resources, or human resources, right? Or a material, or a method, right? All these 5 M's are limited. Resources are limited, in other words. So our task is to produce unlimited goods and services with limited resources. Unlimited bonds in the sense that unlimited goods and services, right? Unlimited bonds. In order to satisfy unlimited bonds, we need unlimited goods and services. But we need to produce, because organizations need to produce unlimited goods and services. In order to produce unlimited goods and services, we need unlimited resources, but we have only available limited resources. We have limited resources available. So how we do that? We have a problem. How we do that? We have to do that because unlimited people demand unlimited goods and services. With limited resources, we need to produce unlimited goods and services. How we do that? I'm asking from you.
Use resource effectively and protect them for future.
Yes. One word was there, effectively. And protecting, yes, we must protect. How we that? We must have a mechanism for that, right? So commonly we have one word for that. What is that? I'm asking that word. We need to do what?
Manage.
Yes, we need to manage the resources. So then, to solve that problem, organizations need to manage the resources. Now, can you understand the term management? So we basically need to do the management for all these resources, right? From doing, or from doing in the sense that from managing. By managing all these resources, we can produce unlimited goods and services. That's the way how organizations are dealing with now, right? That's the way. That's why we need management. So that's how the organizations, the world is functioning now, because we have unlimited goods and services. We need unlimited goods and services. We need unlimited goods and services, but we have only limited resources now, right? So how we tackle that problem? We have a problem. So that problem is solved by managing the resources. So then management comes into play. Management comes into play. People are doing or managing the resources. So then, what do you mean by management? So answer is management. Managing the resources. How we manage? Management is basically efficiently and effectiveness, efficiency and effectiveness. So we need to manage the resources. How we manage? Because how we management in the sense that efficiency management simply means that efficiency and the effectiveness of resources. So we need to use the resources efficiently. We need to use the resources efficiently, and we need to use the resources at the same time effectively. Then what do you mean by efficiency and effectiveness? Right? In regularly you use these two terminologies. People are saying that අද නම් කාර්යක්ෂම නැහැ, කිසිම වැඩක් නැහැ, today is not very efficient. Today is very effective day for all of us. So regularly saying those words, but don't know the meanings, I guess. Right? So management, suppose that so all the management principles, all the management, when it comes to the water management, when it comes to the family management, when it comes to the any management. So management world is underpinned by two basic phenomena, terminologies. So those two are the efficiency and effective. Whole management world is depending on two foundations, right? So those two are the efficiency and effectiveness. So let's say, to be a manager, very good manager, you must handle those two words very nicely. So then you will be a very good manager. So entire management field is depending on these two areas, right? Efficiency and effectiveness. So entire management discipline is designed in order to achieve these two basic purposes. In other words, right? Whatever the management you are talking about ultimately is targeting to achieve these two purposes. Clear? So basic purpose of management is efficiency and effectiveness. So then what about efficiency or efficient, doing using the resources efficiently? So let's take first. So we discuss organization. Yes. Efficiency. Efficiency is using resources wisely in a cost-effective way. I guess you don't understand this. Using resources wisely, you can simply understand in a cost-effective way. Again, you have a terminology, effective. The simple meaning is this. Efficiency, for example, let's say, clarify this terminology by a simple example. Let's say, suppose that I am supposed to no, let's say, yes, I am supposed to complete this management syllabus for your degree within a 20-hour period, right? 20 only, because I am given only 20 hours to complete that. So I have to complete the basic principles within 20 hours. Suppose that rather than taking 20 hours, I'm completing the entire syllabus by only 2 hours. So now we started at 4 o'clock. At the 6 o'clock, I finished the entire syllabus. So then, because I have the capacity, you completely understood what I did. Suppose that you completely understood, you were able to understand everything what I told, what I taught to you without any difficulty. You don't have any problem, any clarification. 100% you understood the things I taught you within 2-hour period. Then what you can say about my teaching? Now, rather than spending 20-hour period, I am completing within 2 hours the entire syllabus. What you can say about me, my teaching? Is that efficient or not? So in that sense case, we can say that Prashant is efficient, highly efficient lecturer. Why? Because resources allocated for 20 hours. All the resource, because timetable, because I am coming to you on a visiting basis. For me, university pays me. University pay a certain amount for an hour, right? So for hour, university normally pays 1,500 rupees per hour. So now nearly you can imagine how much I get at the end of this course, right? 20 multiplied by 1,500. Clear? So then you can, let's say I get 30,000. So then how can, by teaching rather than 20 hours, then only I can take 20 hours, 2 hours. I take only 2 hours because I am a good lecturer who can complete the entire syllabus within 2 hours. So then, rather than hiring somebody else for doing this particular lecture, hiring me to get it done, get your management course done, is profitable to the university. Is that clear? Because let's say only 3,000 need to be spent by the university rather than spending 30,000. And your time, assume you can do another job. Your cost is you can reduce your cost significantly rather than allocating, because you saved 18 hours. Within that 18 hours, you can do a lot of things for the country. So it saves a lot. And let's say, assume that we did in a physical offline classroom. So that classroom can be used for another purpose. The electricity we use, the water, your boarding fees, tuition fees, everything, your lodging fees, your accommodation can be saved. And printing out and other, everything can be saved. So if we have only 5 lectures to for this semester, only you need 10 times, 10 hours to complete the semester, right? So then suppose that for all the 3 years, let's say only 1 month, within 1 month you can complete the degree program and graduated within 2 months. Clear? So then that's the way how we can efficiently use in the resources. Output is try to be maximized by minimizing all the inputs. Input simply means that the resources. So our target efficiency is simply is equal to output divided by inputs. Right? Our task is to minimize the inputs while minimizing the inputs, maximizing the output. My output is maximized. So I have given 20 hours. I take only 2 hours rather than giving. My output is I released, let's say, 28 students within 2 hours. Clear? So I released just after 6 o'clock, I finished. Now next Tuesday, next Wednesday, I start the lecturing for your junior batch. So then output is maximized. So your junior batch comes after 1 year. Next year, 2020, I will have to take this course in 2022, next year. Rather than waiting for 2022, I have to take it by next week. So then output is to the country, to the world. We can save much resources. So then when I go to retirements, when I have my retirements, I can maximize output, because week by week I pass out many students, thousands of students. Clear? So as a person, I am efficient. When I am efficient, the other resources are also efficient. Buildings efficient, University of Ruhuna machines efficient, because I am using the machinery. For example, I am using, because for you, I need to use my laptop for 20 hours. If its lifetime can be increased, and you can also save your lifetime of your computers, because we can only need to use 2 hours rather than using 20 hours. Your electricity can be saved, right? So that's the type of people we need. So efficient people. So efficiency is that using resources, you need to use the resources wisely. Wise in the sense that in a cost-effective way. Cost-effective way in the sense that you are supposed to minimize the resources. Minimize cost-effective. Think about the example I gave you. Rather than taking 20 hours, only 2 hours taking. So now I have the mechanism to teach all the 20-hour syllabus by only 2 hours. So that's my ability, for example. Clear? So therefore, you must you need to think about the ways by which you can minimize the cost. The ways by which you can minimize the cost for your inputs. What are the inputs? Inputs are simply known as 5 M's. Clear? So 5M simply known as man, human resource. If I take, for example, the same example, human resource, my own effort, only for 2 hours, rather than spending 20 hours. Financial resources, university can save a lot of money, rather than paying me 30,000 only. The university need to pay me 3,000. For my side, it's a loss for me, but when I am efficient, I can use my time for another task, right? Another, for various other tasks, because I have allocated this time to the University of Rona Pharmacology degree program, this time slot. But then when I'm completing, when I'm able to complete this within 2 hours, then next week I can do another job. So maybe same batch to your junior batch. I am earning my 30,000 anyway, but output is maximized to the country, right? So therefore, we have benefits for both parties, to the organization and the employee as well. So minimize, our basic task is to minimize the resources and maximize the output. Minimize the resources in the sense that inputs. We can simply put here as resources. 5Ms, resources. So that's all about efficiency, simply known as using the resources wisely and in a cost-effective way. So that's how you can define, right? I need that kind of an explanation for the examination, because only I have used to define the efficiency. I have used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9 words, right? So I will give you a question for the exam, like, what do you mean by efficiency and effectiveness? Explain with examples. 100 marks will be given. Check the past papers, right? So check the past papers. Then in the past papers, this type of a question is given normally 100 marks. Then I need the answer to give 100 marks, right? So only using 9 words is not enough. I can give you simply 9 marks out of 100. If you like this, if you write like this, right? So think about how many minutes I spend for explaining this word efficiency. So that kind of an answer is expected at the examination, right? So maybe 2 to 3 page you can write about efficiency of your answer script in the examination. Clear? So efficiency is that. Anyone who didn't understand still who didn't understand the efficiency? Then the next one, effectiveness, right? So these two things need to be utilized or need to be maximized simultaneously. Then only we can say that we are managing resources. Clear? So satisfying only one is not enough. That's why we use and, efficiency and effectiveness to be managed, right? Resources to be managed. So we need to utilize the resources efficiently and effectively, right? So efficiency is all about minimizing cost of all these resources. Then while minimizing the cost and maximizing the output, we need to make the resources or make the decisions regarding the resources correctly.